I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday morning, November 1st. Well, with the change of the calendar comes a change in the overall weather pattern for much of the eastern half of the nation. In fact, the coolest air mass of the season so far will push into the eastern U.S. later today and tonight. And the first freeze, frost possible at midweek in much of the mid-Atlantic region. Probably the best chance will come late Wednesday night into Thursday morning in the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor, especially to the suburban areas north and west. And that would be the first frost of the season so far. Again, the cold frontal system is moving through right now without much fanfare. Not much in the way of clouds, nothing at all in the way of precipitation, but the winds will pick up noticeably by midday and afternoon in the I-95 corridor region from a northwest direction, and again that will usher in the chilliest air of the season so far as we turn into the month of November. Here's the surface map this morning, and again a cold front without much fanfare is pushing through the eastern U.S. right now. Colder air, it will filter in behind it. Again, those winds will pick up out of the northwest, maybe 10 to 20 miles per hour or so in the D.C. to New York City corridor midday, afternoon, maybe even gusting up to 25 or 30 miles per hour or so. A chilly air mass here, kind of a secondary push right here of even cooler air. And again, probably the best chance for the first frost of the season in places like the suburbs north and west of Philly, New York City, maybe even down to north and west of D.C. will come late Wednesday night into early Thursday. Certainly we'll have low temperatures overnight next few nights in the 30s in many of the suburban areas in the mid-Atlantic region. Well, in terms of precipitation, not much at all today in the I-95 corridor region. There can be a few showers on Tuesday as a weak disturbance pushes into the mid-Atlantic region. Just a few showers. This is the forecast map for the total precipitation amounts over the next 5 days, and much of this, if not all of this, is associated with the possibility of a system late in the week. We're talking Friday time frame, maybe later Thursday into Friday night time frame. That is still a question mark right now. It could stay just to the south and east and virtually miss the I-95 corridor region from D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City. Something we'll watch out for over the next couple of days. What is interesting is if it does materialize, it could be cold enough for some snow in interior sections of the mid-Atlantic, the northeast U.S. again, but this is a big question mark right now. Only a few showers expected on Tuesday in the mid-Atlantic region. Meanwhile, out in the west, a lot of rainfall over the next several days across the west coast, extending really from Vancouver and British Columbia all the way down Washington, Oregon to the northern half of California. Again, that's over the next 5-day period. Well, we haven't had a frost yet or a freeze yet in the mid-Atlantic region, but certainly the chance exists midweek, probably again later Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Not out of the question that some areas receive a frost late Tuesday night, and another chance comes late Thursday night. Here is the 850 millibar temperature anomaly field as we begin the day here on Monday morning. Let's just move forward here, and really that colder than normal air mass just envelops the entire nation from the northern plains to New England and even down into the southeastern states. This is now Tuesday morning, and here we go. Remember I mentioned that secondary push of colder air that arrives by Wednesday, and again Wednesday night going into Thursday morning, perhaps the best chance for the first frost or freeze of the season in the suburbs to the north and west of D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, Wednesday night, Thursday morning. It stays cooler than normal throughout the week here. This is all the way now into Friday morning. And again, that colder than normal air mass, really the chilliest air of the season so far, coincides with the flip of the calendar from October to November, will still be around all the way at the end of the upcoming work week. Now let's take a look at the surface maps. This is from last night's 6Z run of the GFS. No precipitation associated with this frontal system. Really the only noticeable effect will be an increase in northwest winds midday, afternoon hours. Very little wind this morning associated with that frontal passage, but again, they'll start kicking up Later on in the day, maybe 10 to 20 miles per hour or so. Philly, D.C., New York City, maybe even a gust up to 25 or 30 miles per hour. So let's move forward here. And we do have a disturbance right in this region right here. The Mid-Atlantic region come tomorrow morning, midday, afternoon hours, could throw a few showers into the I-95 corridor region. Not out of the question that a few flakes mix in the higher elevations across places like eastern West Virginia, maybe even southwestern Pennsylvania. Again, we're talking late tonight and during the day on Tuesday. That disturbance kicks on out of here. An even chillier air mass arrives on Wednesday, and this is the setup here Wednesday night going into Thursday morning. High pressure moving in, an even chillier air mass, and what we'll have over the next 24 hours or so. So again, the first frost of the season, perhaps most likely coming late Wednesday night, early Thursday. But again, it's not out of the question that some areas get down cold enough for some frost late Tuesday night and again late Thursday night. And then later this week, we're watching a disturbance down across the Tennessee Valley. It has a chance to produce some precipitation in the Mid-Atlantic region. Also a chance that it stays just to the south and east. And again, there'll be cold enough air that if it does materialize in the Mid-Atlantic region, there could be some snowflakes mixed in the higher elevation locations of interior Mid-Atlantic, interior Northeast. It's something we'll keep an eye on. 50-50 chance of precipitation Thursday, Friday time frame associated with this. And then we move all the way into the early part of the upcoming weekend, and high pressure remains in control at that time with some cool conditions continuing. So again, the big story this week is the coolest air mass of the season so far arrives in the eastern U.S. today, and it'll stick around right to the upcoming weekend. And the possibility of the first frost or freeze of the season in many suburban locations, especially in midweek, north and west of D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. That's it for now. I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.